What is up? What is up, everybody? Back at you with some League of Legends action here. Gonna get started off today on preseason between Elkhorn and New Richmond. All right, we got everybody in lobby. I'm going to be switching over here in just a second to draft. All right, so coming in with the first pick, again, I'm not entirely sure where New Richmond placed last year. I do know Elkhorn was, we finished top 4 last year. I'm gonna be a little bit biased on some of my cast here, but I will make fun of my team. Don't worry, when we make mistakes. So, but again, the only way that we can get better is by watching our mistakes and coming back. So that's why I think streaming is really important. So that way we have an idea of what we need to do better for next time. So. All right, so initial bans coming out here. Elkhorn's getting rid of Briar and Trundle. Briar relatively new to the League of Legends scene here. I think Briar's in a pretty good spot right now. I know on initial release he was a little bit one-sided. Wasn't very enjoyable to play against. But I think they got it done into a better spot here. So Elkhorn's focusing what I would say top and jungle. Meanwhile, we do have a lot of mid lane bans and a Shaco ban. That's because nobody likes to play against Shaco. Especially a good Shaco is nothing but obnoxious. So getting rid of Syndra and Lux. So 3 AP builds. Now Shaco could go AD as well, but it's not really something that I think that we see a lot of. So New Richmond's going to go ahead and lock in Nocturne as well. Again, Nocturne does have the ability to flex into different positions, but currently where Nocturne is sitting, unfortunately, I think if you take it into the top or mid, you have to play that first. First buy is probably going to be Tier. Because he's just such a mana hawk. Late game, you got to always be aware of the Nocturne ult can easily get a pick in a side lane there. I like that flexibility there for New Richmond. The Fizz as the answer to WIHSEA, I think is a good one. Has the ability to dodge, to sidestep. WIHSEA wall with the Fizz, though, can cancel the ult, so that will be something to keep an eye on to see how Elkhorn prepares for that one. Logging in the Senna Tom Kench bot lane. Very high priority picks here. Very meta bot lane, as we've seen a lot in the LCS and LEC. Tom Kench just gets to take all the minions and Senna gets all the souls, and late game Senna is dumb. Very OP. Wouldn't be surprised if she receives a nerf relatively soon, just because she is really top priority in a lot of pro leagues. The Ashe pick coming out here for New Richmond. Again, another safe champion, very big range. Good late game, a lot of on-hit builds. Now that they've got rid of Mythics, I think you can probably go Kraken first into, you could go Rageblade, you could go Runins as well. So there's a number of different paths that you could go. More bans coming out here. So getting rid of the Yuumi Cho'Gath. So to me, if you ban Cho'Gath on the top, that could mean that you're playing Scion. Because Cho'Gath is a direct counter to Scion. Elkhorn gets rid of Brand and Zareth. So there are 2 mids. We'll call them 2 tops / 2 jungle bands for Elkhorn. The Aatrox pick coming out here into the top lane. Aatrox is in a very good position right now, and there is nothing scarier than a fed Aatrox for New Richmond. So we'll see what Elkhorn pulls out in order to deal with this. Again, now automatically you have to have grievous wounds in order to deal with the healing for Aatrox. Gonna lock in the Kled here in order to deal with the Aatrox. Again, if I'm Elkhorn, either you're gonna keep Aatrox pinned under tower and hope that the jungle doesn't come up there and make a play, or you just let it be safe. Ooh, okay. Okay, New Richmond. So you have Jin Ash bot lane. The only downside that I'll say with this is lack of mobility, which I think is actually going to be okay, just because the Rumble also doesn't have a ton of mobility, especially when you're talking about the Ash slow and then the Jin W in order to snare them into place. I think New Richmond has the ability to lock down and CC anybody that comes into lane trying to engage them. I told my team, locking in the Yasuo, we have to plan around it. We elected to go with the Tom Kench support, which I don't think is enough to play around the Yasuo. I'd like to see another knockup. Especially if we see an Aatrox in the top, you could easily take a Malphite into that. So that way you have the Malphite R with the limited mobility of the backline there as well. So again, some things that I'm a little nitpicky about with the way that I would like to see our draft composition take a little bit more synergy and play here. The only real downside that I see right now with the composition from New Richmond is you don't have necessarily a true tank. Aatrox has the ability to, you're probably going to build, let's see here. Probably Spear of Shojin you could go first for Aatrox with this composition. Or maybe even Eclipse. Probably Eclipse would be the play here. Let's check out op.gg. See what op.gg has to say here for the Aatrox. And OP says top 5 answers on the board. Top 5 answers say I need a better ad blocker on my computer in order to access it. Or actually Profane Hydra would be a really good first item. Sundered Sky, it looks like, is the preferred option for first item. I think into Kled, though. Kled will have the ability to shove wave pretty quick, too. It's not Varsity Valorant. It's Varsity League of Legends. Wow, how silly of me. So we are on a 3-minute spectator delay here too, so this is the first preseason game. Next week starts regular season, so we'll see how both of these teams do here around the rest of the league here. We actually grew in League of Legends, which is, to me, a good thing. I'm actually quite surprised at that. We went from having like 18 teams last year to 27 teams. Believe it or not, League used to be our most popular title in the state. And then we have 5 JV teams as well, or 4 JV teams, I think. So happy to see some of this growth come back with League of Legends now that it's finally back in the state. We're able to offer it. Only thing I don't like seeing is there's already a number of forfeits. Alright. And of course, well, you know, I had all this set. Wow, that. Wow. All right, so keep an eye. And Aatrox up top. Yasuo mid. Kled. All right, so Yasuo already having a quick advantage here, and again, I think that'll be normal. Fizz is gonna have a tough time now just with the position of the wave there in order to farm, and that's something that if New Richmond is new to the game, that is something that they have to be just cautious of. Is CS is going to make a big difference when it comes to later on, especially. Keep an eye on the matchup here early on. Fizz is probably just going to have to go back and sit under tower here. Rumble already on to Wolves, level 3. Double snare there coming out for the bot lane. Alright, so so again, Fizz just has to focus on last hitting the minions here in the mid. Should be able to go ahead and use the W there in order to go ahead and also get some mana back there. Yasuo drops the ignite there, so does need to. I would tell him to shove up the tower right now. So Kled in a decent 1v1 here. Q3, nice job there, Kled up in the top lane, getting that first blood. That was ignite as well used by Kled. Aatrox does have Ghost and TP, so this could be a decent use of that. The exhaust coming in here. Tom Kench going in. Going to be able to go ahead and get the flash out of Jhin here as well. TK unbench the Kench, baby. Just going to go ahead and get both lane members here for New Richmond in order to push back. Both are relatively low in mana. Now, one thing that I would say here too, I would not bring Ghost on Ashe in the bot lane. With this type of composition, with a Yasuo, I think as a support you have to take Nocturne getting caught out here into the jungle. The overheat looks like Rumble just donates the kill over to Yasuo in the mid, so that's pretty good. What I was saying is, like, as a support here into a Yasuo and a Kled, at least having one of you with an exhaust is very helpful, because if they're trying to dive you, like a Yasuo and a Kled will, you have the ability in order to slow them down and at least reduce all of their gainful stats. Alright, so Yasuo now with red buff as well. That came over from the Nocturne. Big CS lead here in the mid. Flash coming out here from the Fizz. And Yasuo going to go ahead and take the dive there. Hits the Q3. We'll take then the ultimate on there as well. Kled, nice dodge there. Needs to get out. The ultimate here for Aatrox. Kled uses ultimate as well. And it's just kind of an ult pop time, I guess we'll call that. The Nocturne has to be careful here. Only level 4, so 3 level at disadvantage here. And Yasuo is going to take one more kill down there as well. And unfortunately, again, Fizz tries to dive the tower and unfortunately going to go ahead and die. If in that case right there, Fizz just go back to Wave. Wave is worth way more than killing the Yasuo. Getting that last little bit of farm is super important. I would play... You just got to play for Wave there, unfortunately. Even the kill is very tempting. You just gotta go for the safe play. Nocturne's got to be careful here too. Again, even though you have a 2v2 situation, you are down a level each. Even though Senna is very low on mana, so might not be able to do too much. Rumble gets the Void Grubs there. Let's see here. Senna is... We get a stat count there. She's on 29 souls so far, so not too much to worry about. They should have been backing already. Kled flashing in for it. Gonna wait. Oh, not gonna be able to go ahead and find it. Risky call there going under the tower. Now Kled unmounted. Should have the ability in order to quick regen back up. Build up that Fury and remount. So Aatrox is going to elect to back, which I think is the right call. Aatrox in a slight CS deficit, nothing terrible. I think Kled, good job buying the Ninja Tabbies or the plated steel caps if you're a new player. They'll always be green boots to me. They will not be steel-plated, steel-toed, cap-plated, whatever boots to me ever. What I will say here too, though, is that even though the score is where it is, right now only mid has plates down. And that is something that I think that the Senna Tom Kench bot lane doesn't do very well, is they're not going to pressure the tower early on. they're typically kind of the we'll just sit under tower kind of vibes and just farm. As Senna and TK are a beast to deal with in the late game. I think Clyde is doing a great job up here as well. Nocturne looking to make a play. So again, if you're Nocturne, the play should go bot. With how pushed up Tom Kench and Senna are, I think the look is down on the bot. Or even here in the mid. But it's a 3-level deficit here for both. Does land the ult there. Got to go for it. But unfortunately, Yasuo is just so fed right now that there is not much that's going to be happening there. So this game does look a little bit one-sided. And my tip to New Richmond in this is it comes back to farm. CSing is so important, and controlling wave is very important. It'll be something that if you continue to play this game, it will be something that you learn. Plays a massive role. I'll tell you from personal experience, to be able to get out of bronze as an AD carry, all you need to do is know how to CS, because you'll be able to just get to your items so much faster than everybody else that it will give you a massive advantage. So all right, so kill going back over there. So nice shutdown. Going on to the Aatrox up in the top there too. So good work for Nocturne. Now you, unfortunately though, you got a Serpentine because there comes the Yasuo Q3. Tom Kench going in. Gonna hit the knock-up, and once the knock-up hits there, Senna's just going to be able to run you down at this point in the game. Fizz has to be careful. Tom Kench ult coming in, and the Drake does help with that one, unfortunately, as it's been leashed out in, and then does target Fizz as well. So one thing too, I would say, Jhin ult coming out. The TK takes the deep dive there. Yeah, and I think, again, as we're coming at this, recognizing that New Richmond is a little bit newer to the game, the CS, just the killing of the minions will make a much bigger difference in your season. Grabbing those. As a recommendation, I would grab a couple of more tankier options, just from a team composition. Like with a Jhin, you could go with a Leona, or even a Braum as well. TK going to come in from the backside here. The Kench hitting them with the Q, slowing them down. Rumble's grabbing the Rift Herald there as well. Do have a large gold deficit. This is why we have preseason too. And again, just as friendly help here too. Elkhorn pushing hard down the middle. Hear the Kled ult coming. They do have Shelly in tow here as well, so Rumble's got Shelly available. Should be cracking into the inhib, maybe even looking to end here. Fizz trying to, Jhin also using the ult there in order to try, but unfortunately here, Senna is to the point of the game to where too many stacks, too much range, can't be dealt with. Shelly coming in here too. Rumble with the triple. Aatrox uses the ult here. Everybody else is hitting the tower, working on trying to go ahead and end this game. The timers are there. Fizz is the only member up available. This is going to be GG for New Richmond here. Yeah, GG. We'll see you next week for a regular season where our new caster will be taking over. And, yeah, pretty excited to have him on board. So we'll see you next week for a regular season.